A man is shot with a woman and child in his SUV as they're approaching the Family Dollar on Detroit's west side. Who fired that shot? Bounty hunters. We'll explain live at 5.
Okay, Sean, and 4 Live radar covered in green. We are in for a wet weekend, but we could catch a break.
All coming up. We're going to begin, though, here at 5 with breaking health news. The Michigan Health Department investigating 3 possible cases of the coronavirus in Michigan. Today's news comes as the second U.S. case of the coronavirus was confirmed in Illinois.
And now state health officials say they are investigating 3 possible cases here in Michigan. Karen Drew is here with the latest on where those individuals are from. Karen.
Kim and Devin, 2 people from Washtenaw County and 1 from Macomb County. All 3 have recently traveled to Wuhan, China, heightening the concern. Samples have been sent to the CDC for testing. And we did speak to the state health department about the patients and how they're doing right now.
The cases being investigated currently have presented with mild illness, and at this time they are self-isolated, they are not out spreading germs to anyone, and their close contacts are being monitored very closely by the local health department.
Right now, testing for the novel coronavirus can only be performed by the CDC. It could be several days before results are available.
They do have cases coming in from across the country, and we know that there were at least 50 other cases that had been submitted already.
The possible Michigan cases come as a second American case was confirmed in Chicago.
The patient is a woman in her 60s. Most importantly, I'm pleased to report that she is clinically doing well and is in stable condition. She traveled to Wuhan, China in late December and returned to the U.S. on January 13th.
The first American case, a man in his 30s in Washington state, remains hospitalized today, but is also said to be doing well. The message being echoed by public health officials across the country.
There's nothing that people need to panic about or worry about. They should continue to use precautions like they would any other public health threat, including the flu or the common cold. Wash your hands often with soap and water, and make sure that you're covering your cough. If you're sick, stay home.
The state health department says they have received other referrals for evaluation, but these 3 patients were the only ones who were exhibiting symptoms and had the travel history to the affected area in China. Other potential cases will continue to be evaluated as they come in. That's the latest. Back to you.
Okay, Karen. Also breaking right now, this happening on Detroit's west side. A woman attacked by a group of 5 dogs in her neighborhood. Happened near the intersection of Missouri and McGraw. A woman says she spotted the dogs and got into her friend's car, but the second she got out of that car, the pack of dogs attacked. A neighbor stepped in and ended up killing one of the dogs. The owner of the dogs said they got out accidentally. He apologized to that woman. She has some bruising, but is expected to be okay.
Our other top story at this hour, Detroit police say 2 bounty hunters tailing a suspected parole violator opened fire and shot him in front of a Family Dollar store on Detroit's west side.
It happened outside the store on Schoolcraft, just west of the Southfield Freeway. Sean Lay is live there tonight. Sean, there was a child nearby when all of this happened.
Kimberly, get this. The 4-year-old boy was in the back seat of this SUV when one of those bounty hunters opened fire. A 25-year-old woman also in the passenger seat when that shot was fired. So this could have been absolutely devastating here. 2 bounty hunters involved. The attorney for the bounty hunters speaking out tonight saying these guys did not know a woman and child was in the SUV. Chaos outside the Family Dollar on Schoolcraft near the Southfield Freeway. A shooting right in front of the front doors, sending a mother rushing in to check on her daughter who was inside, and a Family Dollar employee trying to report for his shift who can't get in.
So I hope I get paid for this day, because I'm going home.
When the smoke cleared and the glass stopped flying, we have learned that 2 bounty hunters pinned in the SUV of a 29-year-old suspected parole violator. Police say the 29-year-old thought he was being robbed and tried to back out. One bounty hunter fired a shot, shattering the back window, hitting that man in his body. The bounty hunter's attorney is here. He is saying the bounty hunters feared for their lives. He's calling the shooting justified.
His life probably flashed before his eyes, and he responded in a manner that anybody, I think, would respond if they were weaponized.
But also inside that man's SUV, his 4-year-old child in the back seat in a car safety seat, and a 25-year-old woman in the passenger seat. Both were not injured, but could have been. Both bounty hunters. They were cuffed and taken to the Detroit Detention Center.
And he didn't know that. All he knew was his life was in danger. I know these guys for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time, and they don't play any games. They're very, very decent individuals.
Here's the very latest on all of this. The man shot here, 29 years old, shot in his body. He is in serious condition right now. Police continue to investigate his role as a parole violator. The two bounty hunters cuffed, as you saw, taken to the Detroit Detention Center. They just met with that attorney, but now they're going to be handed over to Detroit police investigators who have questions for them tonight. No charges right now as of yet. We'll continue to follow this. Live on the West Side, Sean Lay, Local 4.
Okay, Sean, let's take a look now at 4 Live radar. It has been active all day with rain moving through. At least it's rain and not ice that canceled school in dozens of school districts this morning.
Yeah, that's true. Let's get over to Andrew. He's in for Ben tonight. Pretty dreary heading into tonight, Andrew.
Well, that's right. We have damp conditions out there, cloudy, chilly out there too, with temperatures in the middle 30s, not low 30s, staying above the freezing mark, at least for the time being. We're looking at some light to moderate showers just downriver. You see some of that heavier rain here in yellow, down Telegraph and southern portions of Wayne County. We still have some light rain showers here in Detroit itself, and some slightly heavier rain showers throughout Macomb County. Now, in some places, it is around the freezing mark a little bit lower, so you get some snow mixing in, but that's mainly far north of here, closer to the tip of the thumb. And that remains the situation as we go through this evening. This area of low pressure to our west, it remains to our west, so we stay on the warm side of this storm. So that means rainy conditions as we go through the rest of the afternoon, through this evening, and through at least midnight. Temperatures in the middle 30s right now, 36 degrees. It feels like it's in the 20s. Just be careful out there on those wet roads, areas with low visibility, also ponding on roadways because we still have ice and snow blocking some of the drains out there. More on your forecast for tonight and your weekend in minutes.
All right, Andrew, today is the final chance for House managers in the impeachment trial to lay out their case against President Trump uninterrupted. Focus today on allegations the president obstructed Congress as Democrats keep pushing for new documents and for witnesses they say could make their case even stronger. Alice Barr is at the Capitol with the latest. Alice.
Good evening. House Democrats trying to bring home their case today, arguing this is urgent because they say President Trump is still obstructing the investigation into his actions in Ukraine.
The managers for the House of Representatives have...
In their third and final day of opening arguments, House managers zeroing in on the final charge against President Trump, that he obstructed Congress during the House impeachment investigation.
President Trump tried to cheat. He got caught, and then he worked hard to cover it up.
Democrats laying out a timeline, alleging President Trump pressured Ukraine to investigate his political rivals while withholding military aid, that his administration tried to bury records of the president's July call with Ukraine's leader, and that he is still hiding the truth by blocking witnesses from testifying and documents from being released.
Why were you so afraid of witnesses and documents? What's wrong with getting the truth on something so important as this?
President Trump shifting focus today at the March for Life, while still lashing out on Twitter, saying Democrats are repeating the same old stuff on the impeachment hoax. His legal team set to begin its case tomorrow. The former reality TV star president calling the Saturday time slot the Death Valley of ratings. His supporters still eager to tune in.
I trust Donald Trump to do what's best for the country. We'll have a chance to talk about what he's done for you and your family.
Today, Democrats closing their case while appealing to an American public they hope is open to removing the president from office. After the Trump team makes its case over the next 3 days, senators will get to ask questions, though they have to submit them in writing to be read aloud by the Chief Justice. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
All right, Alice. Parents of 1,500 third graders in the Dearborn School District set to get a rather concerning letter in the mail.
Yeah, that letter says that if their child gets a low score on the M-STEP test, they should repeat the third grade. Priya Mann is following this story for us tonight with the letter and why the district says parents should not worry about it. Priya?
Well, Kim, Devin, that's because the district won't force parents to keep their child in the third grade. Now, let's put this in perspective, right? You mentioned 1,500 third grade students. Well, last year, only 30 scored below the state guidelines, and all of them met the exemption qualifications.
bad thing depending on your child.
Third grade students in Dearborn who perform poorly on the M-Step will not be required to stay back a year. The district says it does not support the Read by Third Grade law, which passed the Michigan legislature in 2016. Current third graders will be the first students forced to repeat the grade if they score poorly. The Dearborn School District says it will work with parents who want their child to continue onto the fourth grade.
We will follow the law, but we do not necessarily feel that retention is the best intervention for most students.
Why?
The social and emotional consequences of retention are really devastating for children.
Parents were mixed on the district's decision.
I think some kids will, in the long run, like 5th, 6th grade, it's gonna catch up to them.
You know, my son, he doesn't like to read, so it's hard to force him to read. But I mean, he does well in every other subject, so they should not be forced to stay back.
The district says there will be resources in the fourth grade to help students struggling with reading, including targeted daily small group instructions with specialists, teacher training, and an emphasis on read-at-home programs.
My hope, I guess, is just that students are properly prepared and that they're advancing through when they are ready.
Now, third graders will begin taking the test in April. Parents can expect a letter home from the state in May, and they have 30 days after that to apply for an exemption. Some of those exemptions include children with certain conditions or children who are learning English as a second language. The district does plan to hold meetings in May so that parents are better informed about how to qualify for some of those exemptions. Reporting live from Dearborn, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Okay, Priya, thanks. Well, we are just getting started here on a Friday.
Yep, here's Nick Monticelli.
It has been 24 hours since a young infant was diagnosed with tuberculosis. The phone's ringing off the hooks at these offices. Now we're answering your questions, what you want to know.
Also, picture punishment. New tonight, discipline handed down in this viral photo of Detroit firefighters posing in front of a burning house. Jason.
There's going to be a real Michigan flair to the rebuttal of the president's State of the Union. We'll tell you who it's going to be. Okay, it's the governor. We'll tell you what she thinks about it coming up.